Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for joining me for my weekly guitar blog. It's July 7th, 2013, and this week we're going to cover repeating and shifting with scale patterns. This question was sent in from Terry. He's in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, USA, and he wrote in with this email. In studying my scales, I've been trying out patterns that repeat and shift along the neck, but I'm having trouble understanding the two kinds of shifts that can happen. One is with the index finger, and the other shift is with the pinky. Can you run through this idea using the major scale? And can you include some thoughts on adding scale sequencing also? Thanks, Andrew, from Terry in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, USA. Well, hey, thanks for writing in, Terry. I think the idea of scales moving along the neck is a very important one for all guitar players. It's seriously a fantastic study, and it makes a huge difference with both your soloing and with how you end up working out the phrasing of many of your composed melodies as well. You know, spending an appropriate amount of time during your practice hours working out pre-learned patterns across the guitar neck is super important. The patterns that you develop will, in time, become memorized, and you'll be able to perform them whenever you'd like, whether that's improvised or with composed lines. And when you work out these concepts along the neck, be sure to explore how you personally prefer that each slide is done. Because every player is different. If you've ever seen guitarists Steve Vai or Eddie Van Halen apply these concepts, they're just masterful at them, moving scales very rapidly, pretty much with any finger shifting and sliding of the fretboard hand anywhere around the neck. And you know, they seem to have dozens and dozens of these shapes well rehearsed. So anyhow, let's zoom in on the guitar neck and run through a few examples to get you started with properly shifting through these along the neck scale patterns. In the first example, we'll check out how to run a major scale across the neck, leading our shifts with our index finger. Of course, slides will be applied to help us with the lateral movement. In example 1, we'll be operating off of the 6th guitar string, 3rd fret note of G, and we'll be running through the G major scale. From the 2nd position, and we'll go all the way up to 8th position. So here's how it sounds nice and slow to start off with. We're going from the 3rd fret G up to A, B, sliding to C. Then we're heading over to a D and an E on that same 5th string. Then when we go to 4th string, we'll have a slide there from the 4th fret to the 5th fret. Then grab 7 and 9, that A and that B. Then we'll have a larger slide, a whole step slide on 3rd string going 5 to 7. And then we'll have 9 and 11. So that's going to be a larger distance to cover. And then we'll be staying in 8th position, getting 8, 10, 12, and then on the top string, 8, 10, 12, back to the G note there to wind up the pattern. Here it is again. So there's a lot of shifting going on. Some of them are easy with those half steps, but then the one that's a whole step is going to take a little bit more practice to get down. Now in example number 2, I'd like to run through shifting with the pinky, plus I'll be adding in some scale sequencing as well. The pattern I have moves from the note of A this time on the 6th string 5th fret up to the high A at the 9th position. We'll be in the 9th there. Now the shifts will occur between the 5th and the 3rd guitar strings with the pinky. The sequence is going to be pretty brief, and it occurs from between the 4th degree doubling back to the 2nd degree, actually, when it starts just like that. It's a simple embedded sequence. It's just going to happen a couple times, but it's going to still allow the pattern to flow quite nicely across the guitar neck. So again, just nice and slow, starting from A to B, C sharp to D, then we'll sequence back. Grab the B note again and then travel through the notes all the way to an E, and then from the E we'll slide to the F sharp. So that's the first chunk of notes there. Then we're in our new position. We'll travel across frets 6, 7, 9, back to the 6th fret again on the 3rd string, and then double back with a sequence there. Then we'll head over to the 9th fret to 11th with the slide with the pinky there. Then we'll have to jump position to get to the 9th position here. We'll have 9, 10, and 12 taking us through that G sharp, A, and B notes. And then we'll resolve on the A note at the end there. So here's the whole thing, just nice and slow. Okay, here it is again. Okay, now next let's move up a string to work out some of these concepts from the 5th guitar string. And we're going to start with an example 3 with the C here on the C major scale. And we're going to move all the way up from that C to the high C at the 8th fret up there. And the shifts are going to occur with the index finger on this one between the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings there. So let's just run through the whole line. We'll start going C, D, E, sliding to F, and then we'll have our G and A on the 5th and 7th frets. Then we'll have a 4th to 5th fret slide. We'll have a B to a C there, then a D and E, and then we'll have our slide coming from an F to a G, 6th to 8th fret there, and then the A and the B. So a lot of distance being covered on that string. And then we're just wrapping up 8, 10, and 8 to finish off the line up top there. So here's the whole thing. One more time. You can see also a lot of use of my index and middle fingers for that one because of the larger reaches that you need to cover, a lot of fretboard room getting and taken care of with that one. Now in the final example that I have for you, we'll once more work from the 5th string, still staying off our note of C here. We're going to produce some shifts this time, however, with the small pinky finger, and we're also going to have a little bit of a sequence operating similar to the last sequence as well. So once again, starting C, D, E, F, and then we'll double back to our D note. And then coming forward again, E, F, G, sliding to A, so another one of those pinky slides. Then we'll double back. So another similar cluster of notes there. So here's from the C note again. Then on the last part of the line, we'll go fret 6, and then 8, and then 10 sliding to 12. And then just wrapping up on that high C note at the 8th fret of 1st string. So here's the whole thing. One more time. You know, in order to really get going with these along the neck scales and the shifting along the guitar fretboard with various fingerings, plus the addition of all kinds of sequencing patterns, well, there's no doubt that you'll need a lot of time and effort put into this. So grab a practice schedule, create a solid practice plan, and chart out your study time for both a weekly and a monthly dedication of your hours of practicing these along the neck scale concepts. And be sure to notate your various scale runs either on paper or into a piece of software like maybe Finale, Guitar Pro, or PowerTab. Because, you know, getting a group of your favorite scale lines committed to notation and having them ready and able for solid rehearsal time is probably the best way that I can think of for developing these ideas to the peak of your ability on the guitar neck for your future use. So anyways, that's about all time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.